Hi everyone, and welcome to the next installment of my predictions. Here we're going to talk about another possible faction for the pre-order bonus, and that's the Beastmen. Now that I've had more time to think about it, it's at least as likely, if not more, that we won't have the Bretonians as the free content, but instead we'll have the Beastmen. Part of my reasoning for this is that they're going to have to be in the game as a non-playable faction at least. They are everywhere in the Warhammer world. There is a ton of Beastmen in the Empire's own lands, for example. Thanks to this, I can see them having a similar role as the rebels had in older Total Wars, with some of the larger, stronger tribes, known as war herds, become playable as the bonus I speak of, or as DLC at a later date. So, now who are the Beastmen? The Beastmen are a vile mix of human and animal, taking a human intelligence and cunning and mixing it with animal instincts and ferocity. They were born from chaos mutating and combining man and beast, and this gives them a natural affinity with chaos. Beastmen normally worship chaos undivided, which means all of the four chaos gods evenly, but it is not unheard of for a beastman to worship one god over the others. This causes them to mutate to reflect their god. An example of this is the worshippers of Zinch often get more exotic fur that looks similar to the coats of rare wild cats such as tigers from the real world. Beastmen generally hate all other races. They will work with other races when they are using and manipulating them and going to kill them later, or if their gods demand it, i.e. joining a chaos warhost. Beastmen have a hierarchy style of civilization where the biggest, strongest and most cunning beastmen will come out on top to lead their herds. Now, that I've given you a wee bit of insight into who the Beastmen are, how would they play? Beastmen are a nomadic people, often preferring to live in temporary camps deep in forests. This to me translates to a horde faction similar to the Huns from Attila. I could also see the Beastmen war herds or hordes spawning from time to time in a similar way to rebels do, but not caused by unrest. Say, have several forest areas of the map that have a 1% chance of spawning a small stack of beastmen in between turns. Now on the battlefield, basic beastmen are pretty tough. Although they lack in armor, they always love to get into grips with their enemies face to face and kill them in close combat. They're also fairly cheap, so they can bring a lot of guys to the fore. They are cowardly, however. As soon as it is even hinted they might lose, they'll be out of that combat and over the hills before you have a say. So it'll be important to keep your general close, and any other morale buffs you can find you will need. Beastmen armies also get a few larger beasts to bring to the battlefield, such as the nasty, brutal killing machines that are the Minotaurs, and many more to be said. Beastmen want to avoid large-scale siege warfare. They're a lot more comfortable raiding villages and farms, and a lot of them. Beastmen, the main reason for this is Beastmen have next to no ranged options and no siege equipment at all. So if you do find yourself in a siege you may need to rely on a giant or something similar to break through the gates for you. When it comes to magic, Beastmen are also pretty medicore. The magic they like to pull off is generally a buff or debuffs to help them gain the upper footing in close combat. Beastmen also find it easier to cast spells from the lure of beasts. This is thanks to their army being beastly and taken well to the spells. Beastmen often prefer to take several mages over having a few stronger casters, which generally gives them a sort of quantity over quality sort of feel when it comes to the magic phase. Now, there we go. I've tried to give you a small insight into who the Beastmen are, how I expect them to play, and my reasoning for why they might be the pre-order bonus for Total War Warhammer. I hope you have enjoyed this. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.